Hey guys, and welcome into today's video of Streaming Saturday, where we're going to be going over Elgato Wave, or the Wavelength software at least. Because right now, as you can tell, I'm not using a Wave mic, but I am using the Wave XLR. So, as you guys can probably tell, I'll be using the Wavelength software. And the Wavelength EQ, this is with the EQ on, and this is with the EQ off. I still have the compression on and the NVIDIA broadcast noise removal on. But if I take all of them off, this is the mic raw. Okay? You good? You good with that? Okay, good. So anyway, today we're going to be talking a lot, going over what the Wavelength software can do. Obviously, there are certain things that I've not utilized in the Wavelength software because I have it done on OBS now. So I don't necessarily need it because I've messed around with OBS plugins and stuff like that. But yeah, this makes it a lot easier for streamers who are new, and this will streamline your content in general. Like that's what the point of the Wavelength software is. It's for streamers, it's for content creators to be able to mix and master their own music and what they're hearing and what the stream's hearing, basically. Like basically, if we go into the software right now, like we're doing right now, so obviously you can see that my mic is here and it's showing up and stuff. But if I go and add an audio input, I can choose any of these and any of my line ins. So say I want to hear my team's voice chat, right? But I want them to be about 80% volume for chat and probably like 100% volume for me. Or like 90 and maybe 70. Now, if I really want to, see how I'm having to change all these settings like all the time and actually like, change them separately, I can actually set a gain difference, I guess, on it, or a volume difference, and then link the faders. And then together, they will move where I want them to move. So now that that's at 100, when I check this one, it should be at 80. See? I'm a genius. See, I know what I'm doing, kind of. And obviously, well, not obviously, because a lot of you guys might not know what this symbol at the bottom here means. But basically, what this is for you guys who don't know is that's where your audio effects are. Okay? Because, I mean, there is a tutorial thing on it and stuff like that, but I thought I'd give you guys a rundown of it. So basically, what you can do here is any VST 2 or 3 plugins that you've got. So obviously, as you can see, I've got quite a lot. Like the Elgato EQ is probably one of the better EQs. It's very similar to the Beacon Mic's EQ, kind of. It's not as good as Beacon's, but it's good. Like, that's what I'm saying. But, like, you can put this on any of the audio channels that you want. So, if your teammates have a bit muddy of a voice or something, you can actually go and EQ their voice and stuff. But it will EQ all of them. It won't do it separately. So, for, the voice chat, we'll show you guys what each part does. And as you can tell, this one is very good for beginners. Because if you notice at your bottom here, this is what most things are in these frequency ranges. So obviously your presence, your more boxiness, your muddy tones, or your middle. So where it says boxy, I like to cut out about 2 or 3 decibels of gain. So I like to scoop that out a bit and then boost a bit of my deeper tones, which, oh, there we go, which I just boost them about the same, about 2.5 dB. It just depends. It's all down to personal preference, really. But obviously, you're not seeing the effects on my mic because I'm doing this to the voice chat. But I'm just showing you guys what you can do. So I'd say this is a pretty basic EQ for it, and obviously you want to maybe bring in a cut, about here. So maybe you only want like this. So I'm going to jump over to my mic screen now. So obviously same EQ, but on the mic. So now you guys will hear this before I do. Okay. So basically, I know this is my basic EQ, right? So what we can do here is maybe I've cut out a bit too much. So again, I can just move that to 140 hertz. About your 100 hertz range is where you want to have your high pass cut out, I guess. And maybe bring this up and over a bit. Again, maybe I should maybe bring things a bit closer to each other, like vocal wise and stuff. So like say that's about 2.5 as well. Maybe bring this out a bit to like 10,000 hertz, or 10k hertz. But yeah, as you can tell, this graph at the bottom that tells you your hertz isn't the most accurate, but it will do. It will do what it needs to do because like you're sitting about 1k hertz here, so that's about your midtones, and then you've got your lower tones here, which are your bassy kind of tones, and your presence tones is more of your nasally and high tones. So like you can also mess about with other things, like you can probably turn this into things like low shelves, low passes, high shelves. So like I could do a little bit of a high shelf like that. And then if I add another one, I can make this now a low pass. And now it just rolls off a bit nicer. You get what I mean? Like, it just rolls off a bit nicer, it looks a bit nicer. It might sound a bit better. I don't know. You guys tell me if you like the sound better. But again, I'm going to set it a bit just to make sure that I've not messed up too many settings of my own. But again, just play around with it. Just see what you like. Just see what you want to hear. And yeah, that's basically it for the EQ side of things. Now, obviously, you can use things like Reaper plugins and stuff like that, which again I will go over more in not next Saturday's video, but the Saturday after that, because what we'll be doing after this is actually 10 tips for beginners in OBS, and then 10 tips for intermediate users, and then 10 tips for almost expert to pretty much good at OBS, right? So what we'll be doing there is just, again, showing off a lot more of the plugins and stuff. So like, I'm just messing about here, but I'm putting my high pass to about 120 hertz. So if you want to copy my exact settings, I will leave them on screen for a second. And yeah, there you go. Just tweak it to your own voice because every voice is different. So yeah. Got it? You got it? You sure? Are you sure you got it? Good. Okay. So yeah, other things we can do. Obviously we can get compression and stuff like that. So like compression, from what I've heard, I've not messed around a lot with compression too much. But what this basically does is it brings up the quieter tones and, well, quieter noises, and brings down the louder noises. So like if I, did a shout and stuff like ha, it would. I also have a clip guard on from Elgato as well, which I will show you guys exactly right now how to do this. So if you're on your mic, if you click the little down button on your mic or the drop down menu, so I've got my sample rate at 40k hertz, and then input level's about half. So probably about, again, because mine's is a dynamic microphone, that's why mine's is up here. But if I had a condenser mic, I'd have to put it down here because condenser mics are usually very sensitive. Like the HyperX Quadcast, if you watch my comparison video between this mic, which is the Rode Procaster, and the HyperX Quadcast. But that is also a USB condenser mic, which is also a mic that I would recommend. So yeah, like, and also what we can do here, if you see this one, the audio enhancements, basically I can do this low cut before even going into the Elgato EQ. But what I'm wanting to show you guys here is this. So it stops it from distorting when you go past your threshold on the mic. So if I take the clip guard off and go, wait, I need to save the settings first, and then go, ha! You see how it distorted? I don't know if it did distort. It might have not because of the limiter in OBS. But again, like, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of things to show you guys exactly what can what can work and what can't. You know, like, just mess about with it. I'll show you guys some other things, like you get your game effects. I'll be honest, I don't know how to actually set that game thing. Because again, like I've said, I've not really messed about with Elgato stuff too much because, again, I've got it all in OBS and it's all set up in OBS. So the only way I would mess about with the Elgato stuff fully is probably if I was doing something like resetting my OBS fully and then having this for a stream for when I'm resetting my OBS. And that's basically it. But yeah, like, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. Like, I know it's only like 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. I don't even think it'll hit 15 minutes. I think it'll hit. If you guys do not have the Elgato Wavelink or anything that can get the Wavelink software, there is not a plugin per se, but I'd say it's more of a how would I describe it? Basically it does all these VST plugins with your mic. Like, it's like a plugin configurator, I guess, and it goes to the mic before Windows does. So if you have, say, a HyperX Quadcast that doesn't have all that EQ and stuff on it, and you can't get software that does it, what I would suggest is using Equalizer Apo, which it's a configurator that lets you put basically plugins to equalize like your mic and stuff. So like Reaper plugins, like other like noise effect plugins and stuff like that. But the thing is, you have to make sure that you've got OBS open when you're equalizing because there's not really a way to monitor. And there is. I've just never messed around with that. Again, as per usual, I only mess around with the things that I need. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this streaming Saturday. I know it was a bit different. It was supposed to be like 50 OBS tips, I will be honest. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below what you like about, again, the whole Wavelink software stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video of mine. See you guys in a bit. And as always, happy creating.